Hi, I'm Ian Millam. I'm the creative director for Battlefield Hardline. I think there's a lot of opportunities to expand the Battlefield franchise. What I'm super excited about, and one of the things that I think we can really do here, is what Battlefield is about translates across settings. You can do, it's about teamwork, it's about big maps, it's about levolution, it's about all kinds of, team tactics, vehicles, being able to contribute to your team in ways that aren't just shooting everybody. And all that stuff translates really well to both modern military and something different. And then by providing and really getting into a cool new fiction like Cops and Criminals, it lets us really make a game that builds on what people love, but has a whole new feeling and appeal. Not really. I mean, there's some games that have sort of gone a little bit of this area, but I don't think anybody has the whole combination that we do, because Battlefield comes with such amazing gunplay and vehicles and all that kind of stuff. And the things that, there hasn't been a game that takes place in this world that I think has what we have to do in terms of this robust, this solid, this innovative of a multiplayer, and this level of visual fidelity and all the kind of gameplay stuff that this game offers. I think traditional Battlefield people will actually be some of the ones who are most excited about this new setting, because Battlefield through its history has actually gone through quite a bunch of different settings, right? It started in World War II, went to Vietnam, had modern military, it's had like a deep future version, a lot of different things. So Battlefield isn't really about a single setting. I think single player is a place that we can really bring a lot of freshness and cool stuff to this franchise. They've had great single players before, but I think players, the standards are rising. People want even more freedom, even more possibility, and there's all kinds of things we can do there. So what we're trying to do with this single player, which we're going to reveal a lot more of later, right, is something really character-focused. This isn't about saving the world or taking over stopping the bad guy who's going to try to save the world and try to block the world and do all this kind of stuff. It's something much more personal, quick, and providing a lot of that cop fantasy with things like stakeouts, investigations, a lot more freedom in terms of how you might take an engagement, and a lot of more depth, and a lot more of the things that we learned that made Dead Space great in terms of pacing and intensity and all that kind of stuff, brought to a whole new world. So it feels like you shouldn't even have to say this, but when someone spends $60 on your game, right, that's an honor. That's something that they're really sort of, they're believing in a promise that you're making. And the game should work. I mean, that just sort of is straightforward. So, yeah, as over the course of its launch, DICE has been working really hard to improve the Battlefield backend and do a lot of stuff. And we've been contributing to that effort. And all of that effort, plus more, is going to be in Battlefield Hardline. So I think it's going to be a whole new level of smoothness, of performance, we take a lot of pride here in producing polished, tight games, and that's not something we're going to give up.
Help us with this guy! God damn, we lost one! This guy is fucked!
I think, above all else, Battlefield offers depth and scale above almost anything else you can think of. In terms of, I mean, literally, the map we're going to be showing is all of downtown Los Angeles, to the top of several of the buildings, all the way around. Things can explode and change. The level of tactical variety and scene variety is really something special. It's a game where people can contribute in all kinds of different ways. If you are an accurate Twitch player, there's a role for you. If you are someone who really likes to achieve through others, you can do that by supporting your squad. You can coordinate. You can do all kinds of stuff. It is the deepest, and I think it really brings out both the depth, the intensity, and it's the kind of game that all kinds of different shooter players can all enjoy, rather than specializing in just one. We're developing on all the platforms simultaneously. I think at Visceral we've got a tradition of our various platforms being really locked in step. Like you see some of those websites, they'll take like screen grabs of, here's the PS3, here's the Xbox, and like, look, they've done this. If you look at our history, our stuff is tight. Like it looks good across all the platforms. And there are a lot of gamers on PS3s and Xbox 360s that we want to have a chance at this cool thing we're making. So we're developing across all 5 platforms simultaneously. We got running on all of them right now, and striving for parity as much as possible. Now, of course, it's going to scale, right? There's all kinds of cool stuff we can do on the next-gen platforms, and of course, on the PC, that's just like what you got for you. We'll, whatever you want to scale with the PC, we got something special for you. So we're going across all the platforms and taking them all pretty seriously. Well, Levolution is really a cool new thing that they're doing with Battlefield, that Battlefield 4 really brought to the table. I think the key, though, what do people want with Levolution? If it's just a pretty thing that goes boom the same way over and over again, that's fine, and it looks cool in trailers, but it's not really what we want to do. So we want to make Levolutions that actually contribute and change to the gameplay. Not so much that they unbalance or throw anything off, but they expose new paths, change where flags are located, and do all kinds of all kinds of stuff that really changes the battlefield and makes it feel dynamic and alive. And we've got stuff all the way from giant things falling down, or other things exploding, or other kind of changes to the world, down to small things, and a big mixture of all of them. But the key idea really is that they need to have tactical significance and not just be a pretty thing.
Drop one of my guys!